All right, guys, I want to get started on this class. And today I'm just doing kind of a beginner's walkthrough in Excel. I've had several agents do or come to me and say that they would like an Excel breakdown. So I figured the best way to start with Excel, with all of my experience with Excel, is to just kind of start from the very beginning and walk through it. So if there's something specific at the end of this class that I didn't cover that you kind of want me to cover, just let me know or throw it in the chat box. But yeah, so we're going to dive in. Now, before I jump into the actual program of Excel, I just want to preface this because not a lot of people know. I've found out that instead of like paying for um, paying for the Microsoft products and buying Google Word or Excel or PowerPoint or things like that, you can use the Google option now. So if you don't have Microsoft Excel or PowerPoint or Word, that is all a feature that Google gives you now. So the way that you can access Excel um, or a version of Excel through Google is if you just open your Google page and you're signed in. If you go up here to these Google apps, and scroll down, you can see that you have Docs, which is basically the Word version. And then you also have Sheets, which is an Excel version. Now, anything that you make in Google Sheets or Google Excel, as I like to call it, will automatically be saved to your Google Drive. So as you're like working on a document or setting up a spreadsheet utilizing Google Sheets, it'll automatically save everything that you do in case your internet goes down or something. It'll all be right there saved in real time. So just a little feature in case you didn't know. Don't feel like you have to go and spend the $300 on the Microsoft products when you can build it the same way in these Google Sheet options. So just side note. But let's walk through the actual Excel program. I will say that on Google Sheets, sometimes you don't get as many features in that Google Sheets as you would in Excel. So just preface that as well. But it's a really good program. I probably use Excel every single day. I use it for a multitude of reasons. I like it because it really makes fast track of math really quickly or doing averages, just different things like that. Or you can just find a template and run with a template. So that's kind of where I want to start, is just opening up Excel. I'm on a Mac, so it may look a little bit different on a Windows computer, but it's all essentially the same. But when you open up Excel, you can see that you have up at the top, you'll have lots of templates. If you're on a Windows computer, you'll have all of these templates down here, or you can go over here to new, and then it'll give you a variety of templates. So don't feel like you have to recreate the wheel. Excel has been around now for such a long time that you can pretty much find a template for anything that you're trying to build. And if you don't see a template in this like precursor or these pre-provided ones in this menu, you can always go up to your search bar and type in exactly what you're wanting and get a little bit more template options that way. So if I was looking for a budget, for example, I just type in budget and you can see that there's a ton of budget templates. Same thing with maybe I want to do a schedule. There's tons of scheduling templates, maybe even a calendar for the year or a specific calendar. That's all in here as well. So again, don't feel like you have to recreate the wheel. I spend a lot of time just searching templates if I'm looking to build something specific and trying to save myself some time that way. Another feature that Excel gives you if you are a beginner and you don't know a lot is Excel also gives you this option of take a tour. So this will walk you through some basics of navigating through Excel too. So if you are new and you want to play around with it, I would highly recommend jumping into Excel and hitting this take a tour option, and it'll walk you through step by step on just different things that you can do in Excel also. So today, even though we have all these template options and everything, I just want to start with a blank workbook and just show you some just basic tips and tricks on how you can enter things into Excel.
What am I on?
Hi, Jean. Okay, so when you hit a blank template, you are going to be thrown into just a generic spreadsheet to start building off of. Now, before we go into like actually inputting data or trying to play around with data, I want to point out some things for you. So you can see at the top of this, you have all of these tabs. Okay, so that's what these are called. They're tabs. Again, they might look a little bit different depending on the version of Excel that you're running, but they're all laid out the same regardless of version, but they might just, appear a little bit different if you're on the newest version of Excel. So you can navigate through the tabs up at the top, and it gives you similar options that Word does, as well as different formulas that you can maybe do with your data. And if you want to draw things or insert pictures or do some quick review as far as spelling and grammar, or if you just want to dress stuff up and make it pretty as well. So those are just some tabs. On a Windows computer, you might have this, like you're going to have the same tab options, but maybe on one of these little sections, you might see a little box right here. If you click on that little box, if you have it, it just gives you more options that are within a specific tab option. So you can expand on that if you're looking for even more options for a general place on the tab. So that's something else that just gives you better control or gives you more functionality within a workbook. Um, Another thing I like to point out is Excel is based off of columns and rows. So you can see that we have multiple columns at the top, and then you have numbered columns on the side. And it goes all the way from A to Z, and then even after Z, it goes into like AA, AB. So, I mean, really, the amount of cells and columns that you can have are endless. I mean, you can have millions of cells and columns in a spreadsheet. So don't ever feel like you're going to run out of room. Excel will just keep adding cells and columns for you as you keep building on your spreadsheet. The other thing I'd like to point out is, so even in these columns, then you have specific cells. So every time I click on a cell, that is its own entity within that spreadsheet. What makes that really cool is anything that you type into a specific cell, you can tie to other cells or do formulas with other cells. So everything that's in a specific cell is its own entity, if that makes sense. You can also see that these cells are named. So you can see it up here at the top right. So right now I'm in cell C3, F9. You can tab around or click around and see how those cells are named. And then you can also do a range. And the way that you can do a range is if you just click on a cell and just click and drag until you figure out exactly what you want that range to look like. You can also select a range within that as well. So that's just how to differentiate between cells, columns, and doing a specific range when you're highlighting different data in your spreadsheet. Does anybody have any questions so far? I know it's kind of basic, but again, a lot of people don't know how to navigate Excel, so we're just starting with the basics. Okay. Another feature of Excel is it gives you the option to create a workbook. So as you can see at the bottom, we have a sheet 1. That's the current sheet that we're on. You can add multiple sheets to create a workbook, and you can essentially think of these as different pages. So if you want maybe a budget on one sheet and maybe an inventory list on a second page or a second sheet, maybe a time uh, time card on the third sheet. You can have multiple sheets within one document. Yeah, Mark, I will cover how to do some basic formulas for sure, because I get that one a lot. So that's just kind of how to do sheets. You can also, like, say you have something, maybe like an inventory list or maybe a clientele list. That's a really popular one in real estate, you can have your own database, entered into Excel. If you want to, you can also right click on your sheet, and then you can move or make a copy of that sheet as well. So maybe, I'll have my database of clients, and then I want to have a copy in case I ever lose the original. Well, you can come in and, create that database or input all of your clients and then make a copy of it so you don't ever lose it. So that's just another thing that you can do with the sheets at the bottom, is make a copy or move them into another separate workbook all by itself. So the next thing I want to talk about is just like stretching columns and making things fit. But in order to do that, let's just start out with just some like generic data. So with the sake of this class, we'll do, maybe, I don't know, what do you guys want to do? You want to do like a database? Do you want to do some math? Let's do some math since we're going to do some formulas. So maybe I want to do like let's do like an inventory list. So I can, start typing in my data. Now you can see that anything that I type into a cell is going to be strictly in that cell. You can see that on this particular example, let me zoom in for you guys. You can see that my wording kind of goes outside of the cell. That's okay if you don't have like anything next to it. If you were to print it or something, it'll still show up okay. But if I put something in this next one, just, whatever, it's going to cut that one off. So what I like to do is if I have like a long wording in a cell, is I'll come up and I'll either click and drag this over to make it bigger, or I will click this column, and make it bigger this way as well. So you can do either one of those. You also have an undo feature both in the Google Sheets and Excel. So if you do make a mistake, you can come up here at the top and just hit undo as many times as you want until you get taken back to what you were happy with. So you always have an undo button, really handy. That's in all Microsoft products or on the Google Sheets or Docs or anything like that. So don't feel like you can't make mistakes when you're playing around. So that's just stretching columns. Next thing we want to do is maybe, that's the title. Maybe I want to do item, date that I purchased, price, gosh, I don't even know, just whatever you want. You can type anything that you want in the spreadsheet and as detailed as you want to be. And then you can start adding it. So maybe, that's a microwave. Date was my birthday. Sent the microwave. I'm just going, guys. Let's see. Let's do folders. Yeah, you're just inputting data. Thanks. Yeah, we'll do TP. TP is a good suggestion, Mark, just to be funny and have some fun with class, right? Gosh, what is the average toilet paper? $7? Anyway, so just, input your data, whatever that looks like for you, however you want it to be. Let's do. So we have some just generic data, okay? Whatever that is. And now what we want to do is maybe we want to make this prettier or expand the columns, or maybe we want like the zeros featured here, just different things. So what I like to do is, sometimes with my title, I'll select multiple cells at the top and kind of run it across however much data I have to make it all across the top of all of your data. So I just kind of select from that first cell, click and drag over, and then you have this merge and center option. So you can hit that and it'll make that cell all one cell with the rest that you had highlighted. If you don't want to do that, you can always just expand like we talked about before, just to give yourself some more room. For the sake of this class, I'm just going to merge and center. You also have all the same features of Word. So again, you can select different text options that you want. You can change that up. We can do bigger fonts. You can also highlight or maybe do a no fill. You can change the color of your words, anything like that to spruce it up. We can also bold, italicize, and underline, anything like that that you want. And then you can also change where your text is in that specific cell, much like Word on a page. You can center it, move it to the left, the right, whatever you would like. We can also do the same thing with the titles. We can bold and underline them. We can center them, however you want that to look. And then the same thing with your inventory. We can even come up and bold these, italicize them if we want, for you to make it look even prettier or the way that you would like it. Now, when it comes to numbers, dates, one thing that I like to point out is if you're doing a specific date and you want that date to maybe run down, there's this little tiny, I don't know if you guys can see it, maybe if I zoom in, there's a tiny little square right here on a cell. So like say today was 5/6/21 and I wanted to expand on that for my spreadsheet, you can click this little box and drag it down and it'll expand that date for you all the way down. You also have this option where you can copy cells. So say I just wanted it to be all the same date, I can hit copy. I can do fill series, which keeps it in numerical order. I can do fill formatting only. So that'll just keep the format of the cell, which means that if I have that particular cell bolded or maybe centered or both, it'll keep everything that I typed in those other highlighted cells right here, bold and italicized and in the same position as the other ones. So for this, we're just gonna, I just wanted to show you guys that that's just a quick feature. Instead of typing all of them out, you can just do a solid, quick click and drag. It's pretty cool. Same with like numerical things. So like if you want numerical, say I wanted to include the zeros, I can come up here to increase decimal or decrease decimal, and I can expand this out as much as I want or unexpand it as much as I want, depending on how I want those prices to come across. You can also do the actual dollar feature or counting number format or percentage style or a comma style. So I could, if I wanted to do comma style, I can add that. If I wanted to do actual dollar figures, it'll input the dollar sign for you. Different features like this. You can also choose Euro, Chinese. I mean, I don't know where that would apply, but if you guys are getting really crazy with Excel, who knows? So different functionalities there. Now let's get to, hold on, making sure I'm adding words, place it, double click. Okay. If you want to do basic formulas, so say I wanted to get a running total for all of this. So what I usually do, there's several ways. So you actually have a formula up here, a formula tab that you can come in and look at different formulas for that particular box that you're looking for. But they're really hard to understand if you've never navigated through Excel. Now you can look up via Google, what different formulas mean and how to type them in Excel, but they're pretty simple as far as just generic math, like addition, subtraction, division, percentages, stuff like that. Thanks, Mark. So the way that you can sum up this total really quickly is you can just go into the cell that you want that total to appear in. You can hit your equal sign, then type sum, that is addition in Excel. And then you want to do a like forward cursor. And then you can either come up here and click and drag everything that you want to sum, and then do that in cursor and hit enter. That'll give you your total. If you didn't want to do that, you could come in and you could do equals sum, and then you can click each one into it as well. If you have like, maybe I wanted to do 99 and the 8, sorry, that's command, and then maybe the 7. So I can click and choose exactly what I want summed as well. And then if you just put that in cursor on there, it'll sum exactly what you want to be added together. Now you can also do the same thing by like dividing. So again, if you want to divide things, just an equal sign, say I want to divide this with a forward slash, and I want to divide that to get that total. So you can do that as well. So that again was an equal sign. I want to click the box I want to start with, then put that forward slash for division, and then click the second one or however many you want, and then hit enter, and that will divide it for you. You can also do like, let's see here, like an average. So to do average, I could do an equal sign, AVG for average, and then I can average all these also. Well, I guess I can't, but maybe it's just because I have the wrong data. But you can average things with that formula too. Equals average, and then select the fields, hit enter. What's another one that you guys want to see or that I can help with? Multiplying, same thing. So you can do equals. I want to do 100, and then I use the little star on my keyboard, and that's your division or your multiplication, I mean. Foot and cross foot. That's a good one. Would that work for like square feet, you mean, Mark? Like if we had multiple square feet? I might not actually know how to do that one, but we can definitely figure it out. No, whole seat across the down. Guess I'm not understanding what you're like for a budget. Oh, okay. For a budget. Well, let's figure that one out. Just so you know. One second. I get all of my formulas. Like if I don't know what a formula is, I definitely Google it because Google has all the answers. There's also the option for YouTube videos. I can't tell you how many YouTube videos there are for trying to do that. So if you wanted to do it for a budget, it looks like it is this formula here. Let's do it. It's a pretty long formula, Mark, just so you know. But basically what it looks like is an equal sign, IF, and then you can do a sum after that. Maybe we'll just see what, yeah. So if you get it wrong, like it'll tell you that you get the formula wrong. Yeah, so a pretty long one. So this is what the page I am on says. What this does. Oh, I'm missing an extra one. It might not work, Mark, but I'll figure that out. If you use that all the time, I can figure it out and get back to you on that one for sure. But definitely utilize Google if you're looking for a specific formula. That's just the easiest way that I found. Because, like I said, sometimes people don't typically use that or know that they can use it, but it's definitely a formula that Excel has for you. Same with just like math and trig formulas. I mean, this whole entire platform will do any calculation that you need to. Just know that going into it. What's some other things about Excel? So maybe I want to get like the average square feet of different properties. So again, I can do equal sign average, select the square feet. Obviously won't give me too much because I don't have a lot of data in there, but if I had a lot of properties with square feet, you could average those out. Let's see, what else? Give me some more. What else do you guys want to see? Because again, this is for you, so I want to make it valuable. Mark, I'll send you what I was just looking at for that foot and crossfoot reference. I know Susan, when I was talking to Susan and she's on that call, she's on this call too. She was looking for just basically just kind of how to get started with data. So, sometimes you can get like a spreadsheet of something or information about something, and you're not really sure how to throw it into a spreadsheet just in general. So, what I would say, my advice would be for that is, just have fun and play around with it. Take some of these tools like being able to expand cells and different things and just mess around with inputting it the way that you'd like. And then you can, branch out from there. Something else I want to cover. So, like, say I entered this date wrong. Now, if I come in and I realize that I entered this date wrong and I just start typing, it's going to completely get rid of what I had previously typed. But if you're working in a cell and you just want to change in that cell, you can either double click and it'll throw you in that cell to edit it, or you can do what I do and just come up here and click in this header box and change it up here to whatever you need that change to be. So that's just another quick tip. I see a lot of people get frustrated because they're coming into a cell because they spelt something wrong or something and it completely deletes it out. Well, don't forget that you have your undo button and you want to double click or go up to the top to actually edit that too. Let's see, what else can we cover in here? If you want to do like Excel does, you can do tables just like in Word. So I can input or click and draw a table that I want to create maybe and put that in. Excel's pretty cool because, like I said, it'll give you columns and it'll make it for easy editing. You can also change like the color and different things like that if you want to do a table. Another thing that I like to do in Excel is insert a picture, maybe. So you can go up here to insert and picture. Now you can either choose from your computer or from a file or stock images or online images, doesn't matter. And I can throw in just, different pictures into a spreadsheet that I want to. It'll let me. I'm not too smart, Mark, but I appreciate you. Trying to get this picture in here. Maybe I gotta click and drag. Okay, sorry, click and drag. I'm new on this Mac. I've really had a lot of experience with Excel on a Windows, so navigating through it on my Mac is a little different. But yes, so you can insert a picture, resize it if you want, and throw it into maybe you're building like maybe a flyer or whatever, logos, different things. So you can build all that in Excel as well, and it'll print just like it would in Word. Let's see, what else do we got? There's a 3D model art. So if you wanted to do like a 3D model of like a chart or an emoji, different things like that, those are fun things that you can incorporate. You can also do a screenshot and just recommended charts in general. I know I do a lot with charts in Excel when I'm working on our statistics for the company. So let me show you guys that actually, because that's like a really good thing to point out. Let me open up. I'll use the symposium presentation that I'm working on for you guys and show you kind of what that looks like. So I'm building the symposium presentation, obviously in PowerPoint. But if you're utilizing data in a PowerPoint slide, for example, like this one, what I can do is I can enter all of these fields in an Excel spreadsheet. So and PowerPoint partners with Excel. So on the back end, when you insert a chart into a PowerPoint document, for example, it's going to pull that chart from Excel automatically. So what I do when I'm like, pulling all these statistics is I'll go up here to chart design on PowerPoint, and you can see that it gives you the option to select data or edit data in Excel. So what I do is I kind of input all my data in Excel, and then I will open this data and I will add to it and then close it out, and it'll just expand that chart and keep all of that data in there for me instead of having to build it all by myself. Now, the best way that I know how to show you guys to do that, like say I wanted to make a chart of everything that we just built here, is I would select all of it and then come up here to your charts, which is under insert, And let's just say we want to do maybe like a line graph, I don't know, bar graph, maybe 2 column bar graph. And you can see that when I selected all of it, it automatically throws that all into the key, the legend, and everything else based off of price and stuff like that. Now, what I can do too is I can come in and I can edit all this based off of, maybe I want to change the chart type. Maybe I clicked column and I meant to click pie, so I can come back here and change that up. I can do a quick layout maybe, where I can change the layout to include the like the keys and the information of what we're trying to build the chart around. And you can also add a chart element. So if you want to do a chart title, maybe change those data labels around to where they're more centered, or like maybe on the inside end, just different things to give it a better feel. And then you can also just, make it look prettier by selecting from the many templates up top. But that's just kind of a quick way to do a quick chart, is just selecting the data that you have inputted and then coming up to insert and finding the chart that you would like. With the chart, I can more clearly see that we need more TP. Yes, we do, Mark. We always need more TP. So what else do you guys have or might have questions on? Again, I want to make this valuable, and we can continue to have Excel classes as much as you want, because like the power of Excel is limitless in my opinion. So there's always stuff that we can cover here. So as long as you're not Mark throwing me any wing dingers for formulas, what else can I answer for you guys? Don't be shy. Let's learn. Anybody? Anybody got anything? Okay. Well, let's do this too. Just another thing, like say, I wanted to type like a really long paragraph or sentence. You can see that even though I typed it in D8, that specific cell, it goes all the way out here. But say I need to type something in E8, whatever that might be, it's going to cut that off. Now, if I wanted to come up here and I wanted to be able to read this a little bit better, I can click on that cell wherever I had that sentence or paragraph type and come up to wrap text. And it's going to expand all of that to where I can see all of what I've typed. So that's just another feature if you want to, like maybe you have a database, like in my database, I have all of my clients. I have, their address, phone number, email address, the date that I added them, and then I have a notes column. And then so what I like to do, like on my notes column for my database is, if I had a notes column here, I would expand all this out and then type, like 9/23/21. I cold called them and they responded with leave me the hell alone. No, I'm kidding. Just whatever note that I wanted to make. But if it kept going on, that would be where that wrap text would come into play. And you could keep all of that in a paragraph form in that specific cell. I hope that makes sense. Anybody else got any questions? I think that's about it for right now that I want to go over. But if you guys want to go even more, okay, Jean, how about running total on each product listed, complete, total, and graph? Okay, yeah, we can do that. So if I wanted to do a total again, and then again, I want to do an equal sign, sum for addition, forward, circle thing. I don't even know what they're called. And then the end to get that total. And then I wanted to do even all of this, including the title, come up here and then go to insert for a graph. Let's see, do a bar graph maybe. So you can see that it gives that total along with the rest. And again, you can play with this to make it have like a different outlook to it. Maybe it didn't give you the layout that you were necessarily wanting, but you can, come around to this layout option You can even edit the primary horizontal and the verticals, the chart title, any of those to make it more specific. Multiple TPs. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. So let's just change all of these to TP. Oh, say I wanted to copy. That's a good thing while I'm doing this. If I wanted to copy TP all the way up, again, I click that little box down here and just click and drag all the way up. So what about, like, let's get specific. Charmin, Angel Soft. Gosh, it's amazing how much I know about toilet paper, right? Sam's Version. Okay, we're just gonna basically look at all of them in a graph. So insert graph here and how they maybe compare, and then what that total is. And again, you're just gonna kind of go into your quick layouts and find the layout that you really like that, you know, gives your data what you're really looking for. We could probably take out the dates and it'd make this example a little bit better, but
what I mean, what I'm trying to get across is like, so Charmin in March, Charmin in April, Charmin in May, Angel Soft in March, April, May, running total of that and total of each. You know, how do you continue on down the line?
So you mean if you wanted to have like multiple Charmins with different prices and then multiple Angel Soft with different prices?
And dates, yeah, everything. So you can
Yeah,
run it.
dates and everything. Okay. So if I wanted to like input a different, let's do like an insert for like maybe a different date column for multiple dates, you could do an insert like that, or maybe there's different prices. Just want to make sure I build it correctly for you, Jean. You want multiple dates or multiple prices?
Just dates.
Dates. Okay. And then let's do another insert, because maybe it was $98 on this date. Oops, hold on. Is it still on date range? Maybe this one was like $7. This one was $10. This one maybe stayed the same, and let's make this one like $98. And then we can have a total here too. Now, what's really cool is like if I wanted to, since I have a total over here and maybe I don't want to just type out that long formula, I can do a copy. Just right click and copy, or if you're on a Mac, a Command C, and I can come over here and paste it. And it's going to paste the new total for this row versus this row. So that's kind of a cool feature too. It keeps the total running line of C versus E automatically for you. And then if you want, that's not what you wanted, you can come in and change it to maybe just strictly copy or something if that's what you wanted.
All right. And then as you're going across, can you keep a total on Charmin, a total on Angel Soft?
Mm-hmm. So like another total option here.
Right. So you would total each.
So what you can do here, what I do to do like a total, if I wanted to do multiple in this line, if I wanted to compare Charmin's price, is again equal sign. I click on this box, throw a plus line, click on this box, equals. Or you can do equal sign, sum, and then click this way too. Doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
And then you can also run it down as well, and it'll keep that formatted as well. So it's really user friendly. It'll keep that running total for you. And then again, we can also Command C, Command V here for overall total. Maybe we'll put overall total here just for.
There you go. Yeah, something like that.
Just for the sake. And then, so like if we wanted to do a chart of all of this now, Jean, I don't know how this is going to like actually come across, so don't but insert, and then we want to do a bar graph maybe. And then here's how this would look with different date options. and then date, price, overall totals. And again, I would go to your quick layout and just find one that really like matches. Or if like something's going wrong and you don't like it's not making sense to you, you can go over here to the add chart element and edit these axle titles or chart titles, data labels, and expand on it just by clicking around and messing with it. That way you can also go into the chart and move things around as well if you wanted to do it that way, just to make it a little bit more uniform and easy to read, depending on the data that you're messing with. So does that make sense? Was that a good example?
Mm-hmm. Good. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. What else? Hit me with some more. I'm better with questions. Mark said one more time on how to get things to fit in column B when you have too much in the previous column A. Okay, that's a good one. Let's take this out and I'll show you that. So if I have like a sentence here or something, like whatever that data is, and then I want to type in directly the next column, maybe that is, some more text. And then I want this to go further. So I can either expand from whatever column it's in, A, B, or C. You can click on the edge of it and you can expand it out. Or you can come over here and go up to wrap text, and that will expand it out the other direction. Or I can maybe, I don't know. I don't think I can merge and center here without merging the text. Yeah, so it'll get rid of the text if you merge and center it here. But like say I had this move down one, then I could merge and center all of these so all of it appears that way as well. So there's a couple different ways that you can do it, Mark. It's just really what you're building and what that data looks like. But that's just some ways around it, just expanding or wrap text or merge and center. Anybody else got any questions? I really appreciate the toilet paper example. That was really fun. But we'll keep going with different Excel classes. I'm going to keep diving deeper into Excel or paying attention to when I'm utilizing Excel. Because there's just so much to the program itself that, as you're doing something, you may forget and be like, oh, this will be a great class, So just let me know if you guys want something specific, and I will get with you personally, or we'll do another class just like this on how to navigate it. If for some reason you're putting data in and you need help with it, I'd be happy to look at it too to make it better. I am hopeful that you guys will utilize Excel more after we do some more of these classes, because to me, it is a really great program. It'll save you some money. I mean, just thinking about different things like database, or maybe a personal budget or a business budget or an inventory list, or just so many things, a calendar even. There's a lot of different ways that you can utilize this program in real estate. So if you guys have any ideas, just let me know, but I appreciate you coming. And Mark, I'll send you that other formula. Thanks so much, guys.